the Washington metropolitan area, right? So every basically CIA server. This is a computer system that like data is stored on, the reporting is stored on, the traffic is moved on, all of this stuff. Suddenly, me, this is circa 2005, I think, I'm in charge of. And it's just me and one other guy on the night shift. And if you're interested in the book, there's a lot of detail on this. But I get sort of scouted from this position because they realize I actually know a lot about technology. They were expecting me just to basically make sure the building doesn't burn down, all these systems don't go down overnight and then never come back up. But they go, well, are you willing to go overseas? And to a young man at that age, that's actually like, hey, that sounds kind of exciting. You know, who doesn't want to work overseas for the CIA? And there's a lot of people listening to the podcast who are like, not me.
I'm one
because
of
they're
them.
like, wait, the CIA's the bad guys, right? Yeah, exactly. They're like, what, are you going to go overthrow a government somewhere? But you have to understand that I'm still very much a true believer. The government is like the living, compressed embodiment of truth and goodness and light, you know, the shining city on the hill. So I want to do my part to spread that to the world. I didn't have skepticism, is really what I'm trying to establish here. And so I sign up and I go through this special training school, like people hear in movies about The Farm, which is down at Camp Peary in Virginia. I'm sent to this actually much more secret facility called The Hill, which is in Warrenton, Virginia. And this has been covered a few times in open source media. But I think this is one of the few book-length discussions of what happens there in permanent record. Yeah, so I go through training and then I get assigned overseas, and I end up in Geneva, Switzerland, undercover as a diplomat, right? I think my formal title for the embassy is like something super bland, like diplomatic attaché. And what I am is I'm a forward deployed tech guy. They send you through this school to make you into kind of a MacGyver, right? Yes, you can handle all the computers, but you can also handle the connections for the embassy's power systems, right? The actual electrical connections. You can handle the HVAC systems, right? You can handle locks and alarms and security systems. Basically anything that's got an on button on it at the embassy that's secure, now you're responsible for. And I traveled from Geneva to other countries in Europe for sort of assignments, and it was it was an exciting time. I actually still enjoyed it, but this was where I first, working with intelligence, started to get doubts. And the story's been told many times, so I won't go over it in full detail here. But the CIA does primarily, and it's not the only thing they do, what's called human intelligence. Now, there are many different types of intelligence that the intelligence community is responsible for. The primary ones are human intelligence and signals intelligence. You want to think of signals intelligence, right, as tapping lines, hacking computers, all of these sort of things that provide electronic information, anything that's a digital or analog signal that can be intercepted and then turned into information. Human intelligence is, you know, all that fun stuff we've heard the CIA doing for decades and decades, which is where they try to turn people. Basically, they say, look, we'll give you money if you sell out your country. They don't, it's not even your country a lot of times, it's your organization. These guys could be working for a telecommunications provider, and they want to sell customer records, or they work at a bank, which was the thing that I saw, and we wanted records on the bank's customers, so we wanted a guy on the inside. But anyway, that's sort of how it works. And what I saw was they were way more aggressive for the lowest stakes than was reasonable or responsible. They were totally willing to destroy somebody's life just on the off chance they would get some information that wouldn't even be tremendously valuable. And so, you know, ethically that struck me as a bit off, but I let it pass because